You guys know I don't know anything about technology. Look at me. I'm trying to work this thing. It's all over the place. I don't even know, you know, it's it's a better, it's better than anything that I have. But what can I tell you? Follow, tilt, lock. I don't know. What do I know? It's fancy. It does more than tilt locked. I don't want that. I don't know why you people even put up with this. Let's see here. Idiotic. There we go. All right. What can I say here? I don't even know if it's going to cover me. What can you do? You can't know everything about everything all the time. Sometimes you can know a lot about a lot of things, but you can't know everything about everything. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is learn things that I don't know and try to do better at learning things that I don't know. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you know things. Let's see if that'll follow me. Let's see here. Yeah. Sometimes you know things, and that's awesome. You know, you can do them in your sleep. There's certain things I can still do in my sleep, even with a brain injury, because of repetitions. I've done it so many times. Bada boom, bada bing, I can do it. But then there's some things that no matter how many times I try to learn to do, I just can't do. Now, hey, you're all right. You're all right. No worries. So I have a friend of mine, dear friend of mine, great supporter of stuff I do, and she painted this. Can you see this? Let me hold this up. She painted this. Can you believe it? She painted this. It's flipping phenomenal. It's a rock. Freehand, she painted this. Then you got this right here. You got a cardinal, also on a rock. Amazing. Then you got this. Well, she didn't know how to do this day one. Isn't this owl cute? I love owls. Owls, cardinals, eagles, hummingbirds, all of that. So then, yikes. Colleen, she's going to be so mad at me. She doesn't know I'm doing this. She painted this. You believe that? Did she do a good job? November 11th, 2016, Veterans Day, she painted this at one of those places. And she did it, you know, it's not a paint by number. I got to put it back. All right, let me jump back in here. Technology. Anyway, my point is this. Some things you are good at right away. I was good at a lot of things right away, and I got better at a lot of things that I was really good at right away. And it's crazy. But those rocks, you don't get that good painting those rocks just day one. It takes some time. You got to do it. You got to keep doing it. Keep practicing. Keep working on it. The same way with that painting. That wasn't the first one Colleen ever did. And I'm super proud of her. She's done some really neat things. She painted a clock, an actual working clock. She's painted a whole bunch of things. And we can't wait to put them up in our house. Somebody did this behind me. Can you see this? This is a thumbprint of God, also from a great dear friend, God's fingerprint. Each little line represents a verse from each book of the Bible. And it makes a thumbprint, God's thumbprint. Now, these are just my, some of my, I would say, Christian school. I don't even think it's showing them. Yeah. Christian school education. These right here. And that wasn't easy right away either, even though, to be honest, school was always pretty easy for me. I mean, just to be honest, I mean, I'm being straight up with you. It was always pretty easy. Did I work as hard as I should? No, I did not. I didn't, and I should have. And it was stupid. But that's the benefit of getting older. So you learn a bunch of ways. You learn by repetition. Sometimes you're just so good at things that watching somebody do something, all of a sudden you try it and you're a master at it. You know what I mean? Do you know? Are we tracking here? What I'm trying to say to you is there's different things that we get good at, different things that we're just not good at. Well, that's the way it is with all of life. You guys know that if you've reached any age at all. That's how it is. I mean, you get good at things And then you know what? Sometimes you struggle. And look at my head sweating. See how shiny it is? My head is just drenched. But what you don't know, sometimes we don't see what's really there in front of us because we can't. Sometimes cameras, like I got a special light on me and I've got this and that, all these other things. I've got this hat on to disguise my wet head. I've got a dark shirt on, a specialized shirt that sheds water. Well, I'm drenched. I'm literally drenched right now. Drenched with sweat because it's 90 degrees and about 5,000% humidity. I think the heat index is 1,052. I'm also drenched wet because I was trying to move the hose by kinking the hose and I didn't do it tight enough or hard enough. And guess what? I got sprayed, I got covered, I got completely drenched. But you can't see it. You don't know that. You don't know it unless I tell you. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel me? What I want you to understand is sometimes things aren't what they appear to be. So we look at people and we say, oh, that person is this or that person is that. We look at the Chinese and to some degree, it's smart to be a little bit, look at China a little bit sideways. The Chinese people, however, the regular Chinese people are wonderful people. I've been to China. I've met lots of people from the cities and from the country, from places that they still don't have a landline, let alone cell phones. Extraordinary. I've met people from Afghanistan who never even saw a telephone. They don't have any idea what a telephone is. They don't know what eyeglasses are. They don't know left from right. They know this hand and that hand. She knows. She's telling you she knows. I know. We're not saying that you don't know. I said Afghan, not an Afghan hound. She's not an Afghan hound. She thinks she is. You're all right. You'll be all right. I'll be finished in a second. I always say to her, be patient. So here's the thing. I always say that. Here's the thing. None of this stuff, like this wasn't easy. And some people would look at this and go, Master's Divinity School, Master's Graduate School of Divinity, Master's International School of Divinity, Bachelor of Arts in Biblical Counseling with an IABC endorsement, International Association of Biblical Counselors. I've got a bunch of endorsements from all different ones. And then a Master of Arts in Christian Studies and Theology. And then Doctor of Biblical Studies, Interdisciplinary Studies, which is in theology with a Hebrew worldview. So, and then I have one more degree, if I can finish it before I die, that I will be finishing up. I'm on the last class, literally almost halfway through. Then my crash happened. I'd already paid the tuition. I already had the books. And Masters International School, MISD.edu. They were so kind to pause everything in case, maybe I could start school up again. Well, when I got these, I don't want to say it was a breeze. It was hard. It was super hard. I don't have any of my secular degrees up because you know what? I don't feel like they mean anything. These I worked super hard for, but not just super hard for. I learned a lot. But if you look at them, you don't see what went into that. Right? If you look at those paintings, if you look at the painted rocks, if you look at Colleen's painting, if you look at this is hand done. You don't see what went into it. Well, the Chinese people, you don't see them. The Afghan people, you don't see all of them. We don't know all of them. You don't know all of them. You haven't met them. Some I wouldn't trust as far as I can throw them. Others I would. Tell you what I don't trust. I don't trust the government. I don't trust our government right now. No, I'm not an extremist. I'm not a white nationalist. There's nothing wrong with being a white nationalist, by the way. You know what that means? You happen to be born with white skin or white Caucasian nationality, and the nationality that you look out for the most is the United States of America, your nationality. There's no racist undertone. There's no bigoted. It's not anything negative. But the left has twisted that, and they've co-opted the vernacular. They've taken over the language. They've taken over what things mean. So now you can't say this, you can't say that. I submit to you, you can say anything you daggone well please. Don't let anybody tell you you can't say something. Come on. Be thoughtful about what you say. But here's the thing. There's a lot of people who've done the same thing with the Bible, with Scripture. Right? They say, well, they encourage or permitted women to be treated poorly. Well, first of all, you don't know Scripture if that's your conclusion. I don't want to be part of a religion that treats women poorly. Look, Jesus, even called his own mother woman. Well, first of all, there's many, many, many Hebrew words for his mother that he could have used in those particular points of time. And the one he chose was one of the utmost respect. Utmost respect. It's translated as woman in English, but that's not what it means. Right? If you've studied the ancient languages, biblical Hebrew, Greek, then you know that. That's not a new information to you. But on the surface, people look at it and say, oh, I'm not for that. That's not my thing. The problem is, well, I'll give you another example. Let's take a secular example just so you can see. So you see I have this hat on. What is it? Sea Hag Marina. Now, I got a shirt on, Sea Hag Marina. It's a high-tech shirt. And I'm so thankful for it. I'm thankful for this hat. It's a wonderful hat. Well, these people are the hardest working people I've ever seen. I don't know anybody who works harder than the Norwoods. They all work hard. They bust their hump. I mean, they're working 80, 100-hour days every single, or 80, 100-hour weeks every single week. People will look at them and go, wow, those people, they're, jealous. Right? You don't know what your neighbor is going through to have what they have. Maybe your neighbor has a boat. You don't have a boat. So you say, what are they doing when they got a boat? Maybe your other neighbor, brand new car. You're like, oh, how did they get a new car? That's worldly jealousy, and that's the enemy wants to get into your head on that. But you don't know what it took. You don't know what sacrifice they had to make. You don't know what they do with that vehicle. You don't know what they do with that boat. You don't know what that boat means to their family. You don't know how long they've waited to have a boat. These people work their tails off. But a lot of people are real resentful to them because they think everything is easy. They think it's all easy. Newsflash, here's a newsflash, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. Some people look at our dog. How'd your dog get so good? You're lucky to have a dog. Well, I am lucky. I'm blessed. Dog is almost 13 years old. Perfect dog. I mean, she's been amazing. She's a white-faced senior citizen snaggletooth dog, but she's so well behaved. Well, she was pretty well behaved from day one, but guess what? We had to work with her still. They don't know. People don't know. Oh, you're so lucky. Envy. Envy. Sometimes when people have a lot, the house across from me, several $1 million. Right across the road, right there. I'm looking right at it. So, oh, you're so lucky. Well, they worked hard, and they still work hard. So we look at the Afghan people, we look at the Afghan situation, and we say, if you are a Gold Star parent, you might have a tendency to say, hey, my kid gave his life for those people, and those people didn't fight for their own country. Part of what you're hearing in the news is completely and totally inaccurate. Anybody that's been embedded with interpreters, Afghan interpreters, not every one of them you can't trust. Not every one of them, a lot of them fought hard. A lot of those people fought hard. A lot of the Afghan National Police fought hard. And they tried to learn, and they had an uphill battle. They didn't know their left from the right. They didn't know how to march. They didn't know how to stand. They didn't know any of that. They never did any of that. You're talking about a multi-thousand-year-old civilization. That's mountain and hill people, and they just don't know. A lot of those people have just never been exposed. You say, well, how did the Taliban take over if they didn't turn tail and run? We made them a promise. The Biden administration made them a promise. We'll give you air support. The leaders and all that stuff said, and I'm not saying feel sorry for the Afghan people. I'm not saying that. Certain Afghan people, absolutely. But the Biden administration said certain things, and the intelligence kept telling them, no, that's just not true. It's not true. It's not true. It will collapse. They're not ready. If you take away the air support, if you take away the military leadership, if you take away the police leadership, they won't know what to do. And the thing that they do when they don't know what to do is run, retreat. They don't know what to do. We spent 20 years in our blood and treasure, and really we didn't get anything out of it, other than 20 years worth where we were relatively safe, because really that's the hotbed for terror. And it will be the hotbed for terror about 10 minutes from now. And we're going to have to deal with that. So now the Biden administration has, some estimates say 22,000 Americans, if you can believe it, and people of interest to the United States. People that put their life on the line every day to interpret or help or be special operations work with our special operations to help fight terrorism. Now they can't get to the airport because instead of using Trump's plan, which specified opening multiple airports and having multiple aircraft staged in advance and over a course of 90 days, quietly bringing many more soldiers into and warfighters into the region to keep the Taliban out, he abandoned that. Instead of having multiple airports open so that where are they going to cover? They don't know where to cover. They don't know where to block. They don't know where to put blockades. Didn't do that. He didn't do it because it was Trump's plan. And maybe he wants this to happen. A good friend of mine, he's a retired colonel, very highly esteemed professionally and personally. You know, and he suggested that maybe that was the case, that the Biden administration wanted that to happen, that maybe they did. But we can't, especially if you're a believer, if you're a follower of Christ, a follower of the way, we have to resist the tendency to look at those people and say, screw those people suck. All we did for them. Well, you're right. Well, guess what? President Trump's plan included, over the course of 90 days, getting our equipment out of there. You know, that guy hates to waste a buck. You're going to leave trillions of dollars worth of military equipment there? Are you kidding me? No. And what you couldn't move, you have demo teams, EDU team, or UDT teams, and all explosive, ordnance techs, set charges on them, time charges, and blow them up, make them worthless, make them junk that they have to figure out how to move. That was in the game plan. Whatever we can't get out, we set charges on, we blow up, we make useless. Then all of a sudden, they kept being told, look, the Afghan people, our intelligence, our people on the ground, always trust the man on the ground. Always trust the woman on the ground. The people that are there are going to tell you what's actually happening. Without political, this is what's happening. And the Biden administration is superiorly inept. Whatever your political persuasion is, you cannot look at what they've done over the course of, 7 months now, and not see utter disaster. Gas prices at their highest in 20 years? Since the last Democrat administration, of which he was a part of. It was a disaster then, he's a disaster now. Foreign policy, he was respected for his foreign policy. He's been a disaster in foreign policy. From day one. Everything he's done has been a disaster in foreign policy. You can't possibly tell me that this guy is somehow or another good at anything. You know what he's good at? And not really even that, because he keeps getting caught, is lying. He's not benign. He's not just a doddering old fool. He's a dangerous, dangerous man, leading or not a very dangerous administration. Look, we want to investigate everything else. We want to investigate, all the Russia, and all these other stupid things. We want to investigate Mike Flynn and General Flynn, who is a phenomenal human being. We want to do all those things, and we know it's fake. But we have the laptop for Hunter Biden, and apparently now another laptop has surfaced. How many laptops does this guy have? Well, he's a busy fella. We know that Hunter is laundering money using artwork. I've talked about that before. I started this off by talking about some things don't look like we think. Sometimes we make judgments about people. Oh, you're lucky you can paint like that. Oh, you're lucky you can draw like that. In my house are photographs, some of the more popular photographs on my website that, I sell my work. Oh, you're so lucky, you can do that. Well, it took a lot. It took a lot. One of the photographs has been viewed over 15 million times now from people all over the world. I wish 15 million people would buy it. But instead they view it ooh and ah, and then they don't purchase the thing. It's been viewed that many times. I sat in freezing cold marsh mud for 4 hours, from before it was even light, trying to get in the just right spot. And I'm telling you, I was freezing. I have other shots that I got eaten up with bugs in the middle of the summer. Just literally just mauled in searing heat for one click. I say that to say this. When we look at the Chinese, let's not look at the totality of the Chinese. Although, listen, this Delta variant, this Alpha variant, all these things, China. It's a Chinese fault. Most likely on purpose. It looks like it was done intentionally. They thought they could contain it by weaponizing it. Well, they couldn't. They've done it before. I think somebody in government, I can't say who, told me there's been 6 of these same leaks, different things that have happened here and around the world. Not as bad as this, but that happened. And China, we know it came from China. We know Fauci is involved in gain-of-function research. He's got papers, and he will read the thing, and Rand Paul, Senator Rand Paul, will read what is clearly the definition of gain-of-function research. He will read the objective of the grant to do gain-of-function research, NIH grant, to the Wuhan laboratory, and he'll say, no, it's not that, right? That's what the devil does. The devil looks at you and says, no, it's not this. You're not this. God told you wrong. The tree of good and evil, tree of, all this, you're going to, no, he didn't say that. And he twists scripture. It's what he did when Jesus Christ was tempted, is he twisted scripture. Things aren't always what they appear to be, but I'm telling you, things in this country are going to get real, real hard. As if they're not hard enough now, they're fixing to get real, real hard. Look, I'm torn. I don't know if you know or you don't know. I don't know if you have privy to real information or propagandized information regarding the vaccines, the shots. I don't know. I'm searching everywhere. I'm studying. I've seen some good things. I don't want to get terribly sick. I don't have an immune system. And I'm told that my buddy Kenny's calling, but I'm told that the Delta variant is way different than the Alpha variant. And I'm told but if I take that vaccine, it completely destroys what little amount of my immune system I have. I'm here to tell you, I'm trying to decide. I don't want to die of something stupid. I don't want to put my family through that. But they've lied to us so many times. How do you know what they're saying? Things don't look how you think they're going to look. You imagine something looking a certain way when it happens, but guess what? We don't know that. We don't know that. We don't know what an international pandemic, a global pandemic, was going to look like. We can't even deal with it because we didn't know. We had no idea. Things don't always seem, they don't look like, they don't, sometimes they don't turn out the way we think. We envisioned it a certain way, this thing, and then all of a sudden it doesn't look like that. And we say, whoa, well, that's different. I want to close with this. By the way, subscribe, like, share, click on the bell. Please. The prizes are almost all in. I've ordered them. I've awaited them. One is on back order. After that, we're done. We're ready to rip. So I'm excited about that. But I need 1,000 subscribers at least, and I need 4,000 views at least. So you need to be sharing. If you want to be included in that 1,000 that I draw from all these great gifts, maybe you don't want the gift yourself, but guess what? Maybe you want to give it as a great birthday present, graduation present, Christmas present. I don't know, Thanksgiving, Festivus, whatever. Maybe you don't want it for yourself. Maybe you can donate to somebody, give it to somebody, whatever. They're all great prizes. It's a great opportunity to be included in something worthwhile. So I want to close with this. I mentioned the Bible. I mentioned Scripture and people of faith. You're going to see challenges to your faith. They're not going to look immediately like challenges to your faith. Right? You can't tell that I'm dripping wet, but I am. You can't tell I'm 1,000,000 degrees right now, but I am. Things don't always look like they are. And that's the way this persecution is turning out. So I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to be alert, be aware, be strong, be courageous. Be strong, be courageous. Be a warrior for Christ. I want to encourage you, to the extent that you can, know all that you can. I'm searching for information, for reliable information on the vaccine. I'm searching for something to validate one way or another. Am I going to get it or am I not going to get it? I don't know. I don't want to go through all that. I don't want to do it. I don't do the flu shot because it contains fetal lines and aborted fetus lines, and same way with this shot. It's in almost all pharmaceuticals. It's just one of the things I use. I hate it. So I don't like taking drugs because you never know what's in it. And I'm vehemently opposed to abortion. At the same time, I need you to understand that if you're a believer, things are not going to be so easy for you. Unless you lie about being a believer, unless you deny what you know, unless you deny Christ. And let me tell you, you deny Christ. If you deny him before men, he won't know you in heaven. Bottom line. If you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, send me an email, smgreener@gmail.com, smgreener@gmail.com. If you have my number, shoot me a text. I'll call you, I'll text you, I'll email you, we'll give you information. It's free. If you don't have a Bible, I'll send you one for free. We just had a dear, dear lady who I love, mother of dear, dear friend, in memory of her mother, donated $100 to buy Bibles and to donate. And believe you me, I'm going to buy them and I'm going to donate them as quick as I can. We love to do that. And I'll write in there if you donate money for a case of Bibles, I will sit there for an hour and I will write in there, donated. Actually, I'll ask Colleen to do it because she has better handwriting. Actually, she has handwriting you read. You can't read mine anymore. And so I'll put it in there. So when you make a gift, that's what happens with it. Folks, it's going to get hard for Christians. We need to buck up. We need to get strong. You need to get strong in your faith. Read Scripture. Read. If you don't understand, ask someone that does understand. Follow gracecommunitytopsail.com, gracecommunitytopsail.com. Our pastor, amazing preacher. He's an expository preacher, so he's going to go through the Bible. You're going to understand it. If you don't, you can contact him, contact me, contact any of the elders. We'll help you. We'll provide you with whatever resource you need at no charge to you. So, you got to get strong. We got to be strong. Our faith is being tested. Our testimony is being tested. Doesn't mean you roll over to the government, because you know what? We're an authority to the government unless the government is ungodly. And this is clearly an evil, ungodly government. Finally, I want you to know that you can talk with God. Notice I didn't say talk to God. You can talk with God. You place your faith in him, and then you talk with him, and he will minister to you. Listen, I sure do love you. Thanks. It's 27 minutes. Went 3 minutes or 2.5 minutes less than what I thought. Sorry about all the tech issues. Next time, tell your friends skip ahead to like 3 minutes in. God bless you.